In a packed Las Vegas arena, the air crackled with anticipation. The crowd buzzed, their voices a chaotic hum as the lights dimmed and the spotlight zeroed in on the ring. NAOYA INOUE, Japan's undefeated boxing sensation, stepped onto the canvas's face, a mask of quiet intensity. Known as the Monster, Inoue had already carved a path of destruction through the bantamweight division, up to leaving opponents crumpled and records shattered. Tonight he faced a gritty American challenger, a fighter with heart, hunger, and a point to prove on home soil. The stakes were high, the tension palpable. What unfolded would etch itself into boxing history, a moment so explosive it left America stunned. Inoue's journey to this night began in Yokohama, where he first laced up gloves as a child. His father, a former boxer, drilled into him a relentless work ethic and a philosophy of precision. By his teens, Inoue was a prodigy, dominating Japan's amateur scene with a blend of speed, power, and ring IQ that seemed almost unfair. Turning pro at 19, he claimed his first world title in just his sixth fight, stopping Adrian Hernandez in a display of controlled savagery. From there, his rise was meteoric. Titles in multiple weight classes, knockouts that went viral, and a reputation as a fighter who didn't just win, he obliterated. By the time he stepped into the Vegas ring, Inoue was 24-0, with 21 knockouts, a record that sent shivers through the division. His opponent tonight, a battle-hardened American named Marcus the Maverick Thompson, wasn't here to roll over. Thompson, 28-2, had clawed his way up from the streets of Detroit. His style a mix of raw power and dogged resilience. He'd earned this shot with a string of upset victories, each one a testament to his refusal to stay down. The American press hyped him as the man to derail Inoue's hype train, a homegrown hero who could match the Monster's intensity. Fans in the arena waved flags chanting Thompson's name, their belief in him almost tangible. On paper, it was a clash of titans, Inoue's surgical precision against Thompson's unyielding grit. The opening bell rang, and the fight began with a cautious dance. Thompson, taller and rangier, used his jab to keep Inoue at bay, probing for openings. Inoue, compact and coiled, moved like a panther, his eyes locked on Thompson's every twitch. The first round was a chess match, each man testing the other's resolve. Thompson landed a sharp right that drew a murmur from the crowd, but Inoue absorbed it without flinching, his expression unchanged. Commentators noted his eerie calm, a hallmark of a fighter who thrived under pressure. As the round ended, the arena buzzed with nervous energy. This wasn't going to be a walkover. Round 2 saw Inoue shift gears. His footwork quickened, cutting angles that left Thompson swinging at air. A vicious body shot landed, and Thompson's face betrayed a flicker of pain. Inoue's punches weren't just fast. They carried a weight that seemed to defy his 118-pound frame. Each connection echoed through the arena, a thud that silenced the pro-Thompson crowd. The American fought back, landing a looping left that caught Inoue on the chin, but the Monster didn't budge. Instead, he smiled, a rare chilling glimpse of confidence that sent a ripple of unease through the stands. The bell rang, and Thompson's corner urged him to stay aggressive. Sensing Inoue was warming up, by round 3, the fight's tone had shifted. Inoue was in control, his combinations a blur of violence. Thompson, to his credit, refused to wilt, throwing heavy counters that kept Inoue honest, but the Monster was relentless. Midway through the round, Inoue slipped a jab, stepped inside, and unleashed a left hook that seemed to come from nowhere. The punch landed flush on Thompson's jaw, a crack that reverberated like a gunshot. Thompson's legs buckled, his eyes glassy, and he hit the canvas hard. The crowd gasped, a collective intake of breath, as the referee began the count. Thompson stirred, his heart refusing to quit, but his body betrayed him. At the count of 8, he slumped back and the ref waved it off. The arena erupted, a mix of awe and disbelief. Inoue stood in the center of the ring, his glove raised, his face as composed as ever. Thompson's team rushed to his side, helping him to his stool, while replays flashed on the giant screens above. Each angle was more brutal than the last. Inoue's hook snapping Thompson's head back, his body collapsing in slow motion. Commentators lost their cool, one shouting, "That's why they call him the monster." The knockout wasn't just decisive. It was a statement. America, a country that prides itself on producing boxing's biggest stars, had just witnessed a foreign fighter dismantle one of its own with terrifying ease. Social media exploded in real time. Posts on X called it a murder in the ring. With clips of the knockout racking up millions of views, fans debated whether Inoue was the best pound-for-pound fighter alive, comparing him to legends like Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Canelo. Critics who doubted his ability to dominate in America were silenced, their predictions buried under the weight of that devastating hook. Inoue's name trended worldwide, his nickname Monster taking on new meaning. For casual fans tuning in, it was an introduction to a fighter who didn't just win, he redefined what winning could look like. In the post-fight interview, Inoue was his usual understated self. Through a translator, he thanked the American fans, praised Thompson's toughness, and promised to keep pushing his limits. "I respect every opponent," he said, his voice steady, "but I trained to finish fights." The humility only amplified his mystique. Here was a fighter who let his fists do the talking, whose quiet demeanor masked a ferocity that left opponents broken. Thompson, still dazed, gave credit where it was due. "It's different," he muttered to reporters. "Fastest hands I've ever seen. Hits like a truck." The boxing world scrambled to process what they'd seen. Analysts dissected Inoue's technique, marveling at his ability to generate power from compact punches. His footwork, they noted, was a masterclass in angles, allowing him to close distances without exposing himself. The knockout wasn't just about the punch, it was the culmination of a strategy that made Thompson feel invincible one moment and helpless the next. Pundits began speculating about Inoue's future. Could he unify the bantamweight division, move up to super bantamweight and dominate there? The consensus was clear. Inoue wasn't just a champion, he was a generational talent. For American fans, the knockout was a wake-up call. Boxing in the U.S. has long been dominated by charismatic stars, from Ali to Tyson to Mayweather. Inoue, with his reserved nature and surgical precision, offered something different. He wasn't here for trash talk or theatrics. He was here to win, and he did so with a brutality that demanded respect. The Vegas crowd, initially rooting for Thompson, left chanting Inoue's name, a testament to his ability to win over skeptics. Bars and gyms across the country buzzed with debates about where he ranked among the all-time greats. The knockout's impact rippled beyond the ring. Promoters saw dollar signs, envisioning Inoue's headlining bigger cards, perhaps against other global stars. His marketability, once limited by his low-key personality, skyrocketed as fans clamored for more. Brands lined up, eager to attach themselves to the monster's growing legend. In Japan, where Inoue was already a national hero, the fight only deepened the country's obsession. Streets in Tokyo reportedly went quiet during the broadcast, with millions glued to their screens as Inoue made history. Yet for all the hype, Inoue remained focused. In a post-fight press conference, he brushed off talk of being the best, saying only that he wanted to keep improving. His team hinted at a potential title unification bout next, a chance to cement his dominance in the division. Fans on X speculated wildly, some calling for a showdown with other champions, others urging him to jump weight classes for a bigger challenge. The knockout had shifted the conversation. No longer was Inoue an underdog or an unknown. The man to beat. As the dust settled, the knockout's legacy grew. It wasn't just about the punch, though that image would be replayed endlessly. It was about what Inoue represented.